like to welcome everybody this evening and do a call to order. We have the public hearing first off for the grant CARES.
We have the public hearing first. So we're having to redo this because I made a mistake on the dates. So I posted the wrong dates in the paper. So as a technicality, I get to redo it. We're still going to be in compliance with the grant. So, but it was my mistake. I think the last time we had talked about this, one of the things that we talked about in the future if we get grants like that is having somebody administer them instead of having me try to
do that too.
keep up with all that. So I think that was the main thing from that.
No, I mean, I know it was a lot of work for you. I mean, you know, I didn't do much and it still seemed like it took a while to do the little things
Yeah,
that I
there's a lot
did, so.
of paperwork.
Yeah,
for it,
so basically we just need to,
we're good. We just need to have the public hearing. That's if you guys have questions or you guys have questions about it.
well, I think that all the people that got the grant are still in business, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. And retain their employees from what I understand, so.
Anybody up here have any questions or comments about the grant?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So-
There's no stipulations on how they spend it or,
So, yeah, so when they applied, it was for utilities, employee pay, restocking, food and stuff like that, electrical bills, anything that has to do with running the business.
so they don't have to show any receipts or any
Yes, they
documentation?
did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why it took so long. It took a
Okay.
year to get all the information together so everything they spent had to add up to that total. And I had to make copies I have a drawer full, one of my filing cabinets is half full because of all the paperwork.
Most of their paperwork is about that thing.
Yeah.
Inventory of supplies and even their insurance
Insurance,
could,
yeah, utilities,
could be on there.
rents, mortgage. So I
Right.
covered all that.
if they were closed, so.
So what time period does this cover then that they can apply for? Is it back the whole?
So it was so we got the grant July 23rd of last year, and it goes till July 23rd this year.
And so
So it lasted a year.
what they lost, it has to be in that time?
No, it's
period
from
they apply.
April, you're making me
April
remember.
20.
I think it was April 20th something to July 23rd when we were awarded, that 3-month window.
Oh, okay.
So is when it was for.
Yeah, it's all done, there's not more.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, the money's already been sent and given to businesses.
Oh, okay.
This is just the final thing. I did this
Okay.
before, turned it in 2 months ago and hadn't heard anything back from the state. And then I get an email saying, nope, that's not gonna work. So, which was my fault, but it would've been nice to know sooner than today. But that's how it goes sometimes. So anyways,
Well, it took a little bit to get all their DUNS numbers because a lot of them didn't have their DUNS numbers yet.
or didn't know how to apply for one,
Mhm.
things
So
like
we helped them
that.
with
So
that.
it was,
And their banks and their receipts and there was all kinds of fun stuff to look at.
yeah. But it got taken care of.
They did a good job.
Yep. You got the one for.
And Julie and Adeline helped us a lot.
Yeah. Actually, we were ahead of her. Because she hadn't done hers yet. She was just finishing it up. So,
Oh,
but
look,
actually taught her some things. She taught me some things.
that's right. So, okay, so end of public hearing.
Yep.
We're back in session. Public comment period, Kelly Judd.
Hi there.
Hello.
Sorry I couldn't dress up, but they turned the water off. They're fixing a main, so this is it. Wanted to tell you thank you. What a superb job the city did this last weekend. We had rain on Thursday, and the city was right there Friday helping us with this gunfight event. They were really amazing. Words aren't adequate to say thank you for all the help. They were really terrific, and I'm just one of the volunteers on the committee, but I think I speak for the committee when we say thank you for everything. It was really, really wonderful and great event. Everybody had fun. Weather cooperated, and it was just a lot of fun, and we got a lot of goodwill out of it. And I've been in touch with people since then who have written emailed me back. I sent them some pictures and they emailed back and said it was, what a great time everybody had. So thank you.
Lots of hard work put into it.
Pardon? Oh,
Lots of hard work put into, thank the committee.
from a lot of people, yep.
Yes.
From the city, from the committees, from the volunteers, yeah. Yeah, it was really, really great. Thank you. I'm gonna go take a shower.
You don't
It's
have
not back
water,
on
What's
yet.
that?
you don't have water yet, so they,
Oh, are they still working on it?
yeah, so.
Oh, then I'll sit here and.
Yeah, so when they dug it up over there, there was also a piece of pipe that needed replaced. So they're actually gonna install a valve there now too. So we don't have to turn as much water off if we have to work over there again. So they're installing a valve and they're gonna replace some pipe and then they gotta put the hydrant in.
Okay, and so is there like an ETA or anything? Because
I'm not gonna give an ETA. 'Cause I-
tonight, tomorrow, last week?
Derek, it'll be done tonight.
Tonight, okay.
Yeah,
I'll tell
Derek
you.
was hoping they would be done by now, but they ran into some, as with anything, when you dig it up, you don't know what you're digging out, so.
Especially with an antiquated system, you're gonna run into some problems.
So that
I'll-
hydrant-
If I see anyone, I'll tell them, I'll just.
That hydrant that was there, Derek said, was over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
old hydrant.
So maybe we should get that to the historical system.
If it's intact.
It may not be after they're done with it. They may
Right.
not-
Yeah, I can see. But,
Okay.
okay, so I'll tell you when I see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Okay, moving forward, we'll start with the consent agenda, which are the minutes from the previous meeting and our appropriations and the lake cabin transfer for E13A, which is on pages 5 through 24. Do I hear a motion concerning the consent agenda?
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Old business, and there being none. Oh, there is.
Yep.
North Riverwalk Extension update, Nick.
So yeah, the guys are supposed to plant the grass. They're gonna do that rollout grass is what I've been told. They were down there spraying, but they had a bunch of stuff they had to kill before they could work the dirt and put it down. I know they sprayed a bunch of Johnson grasses down there by the river, things like that. So they're waiting for things to die before they go back in and do that, so.
It looks nice, the boulders across there, the big
Yep.
rocks across there and everything like that.
Yep, so.
You said roll out grass, you're not talking sod.
No, I'm
You're
talking
talking
about,
about big rolls
yeah,
that-
kind of what the state does
Yeah.
with the straw and seed mixture in there. So it doesn't wash when it rains and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, and then the lighting is still scheduled for this month. I haven't heard an update on that. They're supposed to be here in the middle of the month, obviously that has passed. So
Okay.
I'll email them again and see kind of what the deal is with that.
Anybody have any questions for me? Okay. Moving forward to new business, sales tax grant committee recommendations. We'll start with the Voices of the Wind pageant on page 25 and ask, does anybody have, well, I guess it's 26.
I can go through it, Mayor, if you want.
Okay, that'd be great. That way we can-
So the Voice of the Wind pattern requested $5,000 in sales tax funding. The committee recommended to approve that to the council. It will be used for increased expenses in sound. Is that correct?
Sound and lights.
Sound and lights. So, yep. So that's what that's for.
Okay, do I hear a motion concerning Voices of the Wind or questions?
I would move that we approve the $5,000 sales grant to Voices of the Wind people. Pageant.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Moved and seconded to approve recommendation of $5,000 sales tax grant money to the Voices of the Wind. All those in favor?
Abstain.
Okay, motion carries 4 and 1 abstention. Okay. Council Grove Art Council, Seth Fest.
So they requested $10,000 sales tax grant. The committee voted to recommend a modified amount of $5,000 for the event. And that's going to be for getting bands and things like that for the event, is where the money would go to.
And then we'll be working Friday evening on that as well downtown, I believe.
Yeah, so they're going to have musicians that are coming from Lawrence, Kansas City, Topeka, Manhattan. They will, I think if you remember 2 years ago, they had a bunch of musicians sitting outside of businesses playing music on the sidewalk. They're planning on doing that again, and then having some couple bigger bands down at the amphitheater on Saturday.
Saturday night, yeah.
Are they planning on charging admission for that,
It's a free,
for
so,
the whole thing?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Did I hear any motions on that?
I'll make a motion to approve
Okay,
that.
Jason. Second.
I second it.
Okay, Sharon. Been moved and seconded to approve the recommendation of the Sales Tax Grant Committee for $5,000 for the Arts Council for the South Fest. All those in favor? Okay, the motion carries 5-0. Next, the Historic Preservation Corporation. Yeah.
Okay, they requested 15,000. After discussion, the committee voted to recommend a modified amount of 5,000 in sales tax grant funding. And that is to help with completion of the construction of the inside of the building.
Are there any questions?
What was the reasoning for not granting a higher amount?
Well, there's been a couple reasons. We've given $32,000 to the project already. Other reason is there's only $33,000 left in the sales tax grant, and we have 2 more quarters to go.
Okay,
So,
I'd make a motion to approve that.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the recommendation of the Sales Tax Grant Committee for $5,000 for the Historic Preservation Corporation. All those in favor? Okay, motion carries. And Carl?
yeah, they requested $2,700 in sales tax grant funding. The committee recommended the approval of the $2,700. And I don't know if everybody knows what Carl is. Does everybody know what it is?
Yeah, Chrissy Davis contacted me.
Yeah, she did.
about it.
She texted me the night of the meeting. Pretty big deal. They're gonna have representatives from MBAth and several other big corporations and stuff like that in town. They're gonna stay at the Cottage House, and I think there's 30 or 35 people that will be involved in that.
They actually run the whole cottage house.
Yeah, it's pretty neat thing. You have to apply in order to be a part of the Carl program.
It's, after visiting with Chrissy, it seems to be quite a coup that we were able to
Yeah.
to get it.
Yeah. So and they're excited about coming here for it. So
We owe that to Susan Sankey. She asked that Jill and she meet here to pre-talk about it, and they fell in love with it while they were here. It stands for Kansas Agricultural
Rural
Leadership.
Leadership.
And it's similar to Leadership Kansas, it's only, you know, it's got its own thing, so.
Yeah, a lot of the people involved in it are
uh-huh.
well-known people in their industry that they're in.
Yeah.
So,
And actually, at their last meeting of the year, they'll go to Dubai.
something
Is
like
that right?
that.
Something like that, so it's, yeah.
Yeah,
It's from all over the state of
It's
Kansas.
a big time program and
The Tiffany's will be hosting them out at their farm for a farm-to-table dinner one evening, and it's a neat project. Okay. Do I hear a motion or any more questions? Any questions?
So moved.
Okay.
I second it.
Sharon? Been moved and seconded to give Carl sales tax grant for $2,700 as recommended by the committee. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Social media policy, and we have the first reading here.
It's $1.
Has everybody had a chance to read this?
Yes.
So, this is something that Bill and I worked on. I contacted the lead municipalities, kind of get what their social media policy is and what they recommend, and they sent back like 10 pages of what their document is. So me and Bill went through it and kind of pared it down to what is relevant to the city. And this is what we came up with. Me and Bill are good with it. It can be the first reading unless you guys have something you want to add to it. We can add it. I think we've covered all the bases on what we need to cover with it. But if you guys think it's good, you guys can approve the resolution tonight and we can move on. So
I do have one question. It's the
Sure.
the last, almost the very last, where it says when posting on personal social media sites, the person subject to this policy may not claim or imply that he or she speaks for the city and may not use the name, logo, or image of the city in any personal social media postings. I wonder if that is going to prohibit us from sharing
It does not. This has to do with derogatory information. So if you go on there and say, and use the city's image and say, I hate the city of Council Grove, that's a direct violation of this policy. Now, if you're saying positive things about the city, it's not a problem.
Okay, I just, when it said may not use the name, logo, or image, I just wanted to, like, for example, Derek put on with the City of Council Grove logo that the water was gonna be shut off.
But he's covered because he's a city employee.
Well, but I shared it,
Yeah, well, but you're the mayor.
Yeah,
So
well,
that-
no,
that's-
and that's okay.
Yeah,
But it
so-
would still have the logo on it, and I didn't use the logo when I shared it. I mean.
Yeah, but it
of course
only
it's
applies to
wrong.
when it's derogatory.
Derogatory,
Which is what it says in the,
okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, and, well, I work for the state of Kansas Historical Society, and I had, for my personal photo on my personal Facebook post, I used a photo of me with my Kansas Historical Society name badge on. And I posted something that was political, and I got a call saying, look, you probably don't know, but you can't do that. So like one of our employees could not use the picture with their city t-shirt on or their police uniform on.
Right.
And then,
For something, their view, political
yes,
view or whatever.
yes.
That's what that's referring to.
I just want to make sure that there was no
Yeah.
lines there, if we were,
Yeah, if we're still,
if we were just sharing.
Yep, yep. More so what it's meant to do is so people that work for the city can't just say you can't work for a city, in my opinion, and be derogatory towards it. I just don't think that's right. And a lot of places have a lot stricter than this. If you do it, they just fire you. I know when I went to that conference up in Kansas City, when I was doing my city manager schooling, that was, Leavenworth and some of the other places, it's strict. I mean, they will fire you on the spot if they catch you doing it. So
And you can't use any of the city's social media to do derogatory comments
Right.
about anything
Right.
either.
Right, so, it's something we've needed to do for a while.
Right.
Yeah, so I commend you for getting that done.
Yeah.
I think it's something we better.
But,
It's a good thing to get.
yeah,
Do you all want to adopt this tonight, or do you want to wait and make this the first reading?
I don't think we need to wait.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine with
Okay.
adopting it tonight.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so let's have a motion to adopt this resolution. if That's what y'all want to do.
So good.
Okay? Second? Okay, Sharon. Moved and seconded to adopt the social media policy as written. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
And that's resolution 07-2021-01.
Oh, 07-20-21-01. There's a lot of O's and ones in there. Okay, the City Lake Annexation Committee work study. This will be just a small meeting with our committee. And that would include Jen Troxel, Chris Bolton, and Gary Catlin, I believe.
Julie Howard,
Oh, yes, Julie.
but that's all that's on there.
Is there anyone
4
else?
of them, and then the council.
And then the council.
And full council on that.
Yep.
And so that would be when you all would like to meet.
And remember on the 28th, we have the work study at 5 o'clock for the budget. So the 28th is out.
The 28th being Wednesday.
What time did you say on that meeting?
We haven't, on the
Oh,
work
we
study?
haven't said that.
No, not for the, no, that's regional. Usually we do it at 5:30.
Okay.
The budget one is at 5:30?
No, the budget one's at 5.
5, that's what I thought.
But the Lake Annexation Committee meetings are usually at 5:30 because everybody that's on the committee out, is
Okay.
getting off work.
Does Tuesday work for everybody? Because it's like we usually have meetings on Tuesday. Would that work for everyone?
27.
That'd be okay?
Yeah. I'm having a crown put in, but I'll be all right.
He's gonna just be up here smiling.
Gritting your teeth.
No, that's why I'm getting a crown, I'm gritting my teeth.
The only thing will be hurting by that time will be your bank book. Okay, 5:30 then?
Yep. So do you want me to email that group to make sure
Yes,
they can show
please.
up? And then, so that's tentative. If none of them can show up, we probably need to pick another
Switch
date.
it, yeah.
So do you guys want to have 2
Do
dates?
you want to pick another one?
Yeah. We can do the 29th, or we can go into August. The council meeting on the 3rd, we can do it August 5th. We can do the 28th and, or not the 28th, the 27th and August 5th is the 2 dates.
August 5th.
Yeah. It's a Thursday, I believe. Yeah.
I'd be available on the 5th too.
Because we called to labor, so we asked what you
Me too.
Make for a long day because it starts off with the never not.
Yeah, we had to go to Devo that morning at 7:30 or whatever it is that morning.
Be the first one if they can't do that.
Everybody okay with that?
Sure.
Probably prefer to leave the first one if they can do that.
Yeah. I just want to give a couple options
That'd be
because I
good.
know,
Mhm.
yeah, so that way we can.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, and we're on to governing body. Jason?
Thank you for the patchwork on Washington Street and Huntaker Hill.
I didn't do it, city
I
clerk
know
did.
you didn't.
No, so I'm gonna take credit, but You're welcome.
Yeah, and great weekend, guys. That was pretty exciting stuff, so,
Very good. Anything else?
nope, that's it.
Okay, Keith?
I don't have anything this evening, thank you, Mayor.
Mark?
A couple things. Kay Hutchison called me, wanted to remind us that we were supposed to be moving forward on the scenic byway radio. Where are we at on that?
so we're nowhere on it. So I'm waiting for somebody to give me a cost to install it. And then you were supposed to get in touch with Kay about getting me the manual on how to install that. And I talked about that a couple times.
Okay, about manual.
Yep, because he has the manual on how it operates and things like that.
He didn't bring that manual and leave it here?
When did he leave?
That was a different manual they left as far as,
Okay, I will make a call tomorrow on that and get back to you.
Curious, how old is that equipment?
04.
04? So
Yeah.
not extremely old, as radio equipment goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So, but,
And it's all AM band, isn't it?
so it's AM, yep. I know when we looked at getting it put in 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, the cost was like $5,000 to get it hooked back up. I don't know what that is now. It's inflation the way it is right now, I imagine it's a little bit more. And then we had to.
And that
Yeah.
cost was just based on installing it or
Mhm. And that's not that.
updating it and installing it?
Well, you know, I don't know how much it would be to update it, because I don't have the information for updating it. But I imagine updating it, you would probably need a new whole system. I don't know that you can, 'cause I think it's just a recorder, isn't it?
It is.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty, like a cassette recording, is that what it is?
Yeah, and I think Kate, didn't he offer to redo the message when we first started talking about it?
Wanting to,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that if we do it, I think we ought to expand on including more about our historic
Yes.
sites,
And the
Malaga
town.
Wahoo Memorial Heritage Park, and, you know,
And just benefits of the town.
yeah, talk about our
But
aquatic
so,
center and,
so it's not a digital recording though, so you
No.
can't change it fairly easy. just-
well, maybe that's something we need to look into.
Yeah, and that's, I just wanted to get the books, because he has the number for the guy to contact about it,
Okay,
and that information, I don't have that.
okay.
And we've been so busy that, to be honest with you, I hadn't even thought about it more, to
Okay.
be honest with you.
Well, I told him to today I said, keep reminding me, because we do get sidetracked with
Yeah.
other
We've
things.
had a lot going on here lately,
And,
so,
keep on me about it.
yeah,
So, all right, I'll take care of that part of it.
okay.
The second, I'd like to have, and not just for me, but for the citizens of Counts Grove, an update on the warranty work on Main Street and Union and the Osho.
So we need the warranty work. So they came
Yeah.
down and re-crack sealed the cracks that had pulled out. The reason that happened is because when they crack sealed, the rubber's just supposed to go in the hole. When they did it, it went 2 to 3 inches outside the crack. And so when it got hot out, it just peeled the rubber right out of the ground when it rolled up on somebody's tire. So they came in and redid that, re-oiled the areas that needed fixed and put down new chips.
So are you saying they're done?
That's what they're gonna do, Mark.
And that's horrible.
Well, I'm gonna call Dave. I mean, that just happened the other day. I sent an email to him about it because I was under the impression they're gonna come down and do more than that.
Yeah, I think they need to do more than that.
So,
And for
and I talked to,
the money that we spent,
yeah, and I talked to Joe Palick about it, and the state, for whatever reason, has no stipulations on warranty on any work that a contractor does. So,
but we have a warranty with the company ourselves, correct?
they don't have, there's not a warranty implied on that stuff. No, there's not.
Really?
That's really a
Well,
mess, isn't it?
I say we
thought
got,
they had
I say
done
we
it.
got taken.
So,
Those are the same people are gonna do this one, right?
well, no, that hasn't been up for bid, and I'll talk about that when I come.
I mean, the highway, the state highway.
No, that's gonna go for bidding, so 177, that's still, so that's turned into a 2-year project. They're gonna do dirt work and all that stuff this year, I guess, and move utilities, and then next year,
Move the what?
the 177 project. is
And
kinda
Did you
turned
say
in-
do the dirt work and then move and I didn't hear the last word.
Oh, then they're gonna do the roadway. And I know, because I talked to a guy from Schilling, and they're bidding on that project, so I don't know who's doing that work, for the state.
I just knew the APAC guy had been down here for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're gonna bid on it, so, but I'll call Dave and
Are
then
they also gonna do the,
56, that still has to be bid too.
that still has to be did?
Yeah, I'd be very hesitant to give that company this new project through town,
Yeah,
if that's the kind of work that they're gonna do.
I don't disagree with you, and I've had that conversation, so,
I mean, as a council, I think we have a responsibility to our citizens that I think we got taken.
yeah, me and Jeff Blosser have talked about it, he has a contact with the guy that's the president of APAC. So I'm gonna call Dave again, the guy that I'm dealing with, which is he's in charge, he's the head guy for APAC and Emporia, and let him kind of know and see what he says, and then if that, we can escalate it from there with,
Well, I think that, this is just my opinion, you know, and always is, that if we don't get anywhere, I think our lawyer needs to get involved.
so, yeah.
That's just my opinion. I think that we're talking about a lot of money, and we got a horrible job.
Yeah.
Well, we
You
can
know.
ask any of them if they would appreciate it.
Well, I've done that. So I got into it with the guy that was the foreman. He's the one that came down and looked at it and tried to tell me what caused that was groundwater. And I said, we don't have groundwater on Main Street. I said, you guys dug down 5 foot and repaired this area of Wood Street. And I said, you didn't hit water. I said, so water didn't cause this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because he's being defensive because he was the foreman.
I think it's shoddy work.
So,
That's, you know, just,
now, I was under the impression when I talked to Dave that they were gonna put oil down and rechip the hole from the intersection to the bridge. That's not what they did.
that section right there in front of the post office is
Yeah.
rough.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I just kind of assumed that they patched it to get to cooler weather to,
And that may be, that's what I don't know, I haven't talked to Dave.
Yeah.
So that, and I have it on my list of things to do. I mean, I just did the work yesterday, so.
Okay. Well, that's why I wanted an update,
Yeah.
because if that's all they're gonna do, I think we need to get our lawyer involved
Yeah.
and get that, because if we're gonna turn around and do the rest of Maine on the east side and the west, and we get that same
Yep.
type of work,
Right.
we're not doing our jobs here to protect the citizens' tax dollars, so.
Plus, it's obvious the way, well, at least the way it looks, that it's not gonna last.
Right, I
You
think,
know,
yeah.
It's just another
Well-
patch job.
And if you look south on Neosho Street, it's starting to bleed up through there already.
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna do the same thing it did there that it did on Main Street
I
eventually.
keep wondering if that hot mix
Well,
that they used
yeah,
wasn't
the
quite
oil, I think,
proper.
the theory is, and this is from talking to a couple of people, and I won't say their names, that we have bad batch of oil, is what they think. But, you know, how do you prove that? I don't know how to prove that, but,
Well, gosh, I mean, we're just talking a couple, 3 months after the project's done, and
Yeah.
it's already
it
horrible.
was done
I mean,
in October. October is when that was done, so.
yeah, so,
The thing they were concerned about when we did the project was the parking areas, and those causing a bunch of bleeding because they weren't gonna get ran over and it wouldn't go soak into the oil. Well, that hasn't been the issue. The
They've
issue
been
is-
fine, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what they told me, and the other thing they told me was the chip you use deteriorates really fast. I said, well, 6 to 7 months is pretty quick for chips to deteriorate.
I mean, they do they chip and sealed the highway out here, and it's not come up. It's fine.
Actually, when they did that, Mark, they chip and sealed that, they had to come back and do it again because they did it was bad. They messed it up.
Same company?
I don't think it was the same company. I don't think it was APAC that did it, but it was the same thing. It was peeling up, and they didn't put enough chips down. And I remember because I drove my truck and ended up turning around because I wasn't driving through a bunch of oil and getting it all over my truck. So
Well, I guess what I would ask is an update at a future council meeting
that's fine.
where we're at, and then I think we need to have a discussion as a council whether we need to seek legal, ramifications on this or not, so. Okay,
Also, we're gonna run into some, supposedly some really hot weather here in the next 20 or 30 days, so we'll see what happens with their patches if they,
right.
And maybe a deal where they came and just did that temporarily. I don't know. I was under the impression they were going to take care of all of it.
All right.
I'm
And I know you were, and that's why I wanted to.
yeah. So when they came and did that, I was like, okay, I need to call Dave and see what's going on, because I didn't even know they were coming yesterday. The guy from APAC walked into City Hall and said, "Hey, we're here to fix your road." And I said, "You are?" I said, "You have traffic control?" He's like, "Yep, we got it all handled." I said, "I was supposed to get a phone call a couple days notice so we can alert the citizens that you guys will be here."
Yeah, that would have been nice.
And he said, "Well, we're here today." I said, "Well, I'm not going to tell you to leave."
they
Yeah,
weren't here very long, they said.
yeah, okay. And the second, just an update on the riprap on the river, have we made arrangements for that?
We have riprap. It's just a
Okay.
matter of getting the lights and stuff, and we want to get all that stuff done. So we're
No, I'm talking about down by the footbridge, where we're losing our bank down there by the bridge and where we talked about earlier.
oh yeah, we're waiting. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Mark. So when they're going to trench down through there, you're talking about the footbridge. Mike,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, different
We,
place.
we have it on the list of things to do.
Okay,
It's on the list. Yeah,
Okay.
Jeff is aware of it.
okay. And then I just want to, as a Santa Fe Trail Committee member, and I'm sure Sharon's gonna have her thing to say, the weekend was beyond our wildest dreams. It was 3 years of a lot of planning and a lot of volunteerism, and it just shows that what we can do here in Council Grove if we put our minds to it, and we have a special community. And I do want to thank that Nick was there to help out. The city crews, the park had got so much rain, it was just a muddy mess, and we're able to make it where it was usable, and nothing but compliments by hundreds and hundreds of people. And now we need to take a deep breath and not take much more time, because we got another event coming up in August that we've got planned. But then the committee will have to sit down and decide if we want to make that a yearly event. And that's just my personal opinion. The answer is yes. But we have to, we'll have to look at it. We need more help. We worked on a very much a skeleton crew doing it. So again, thanks to the city crew, thanks to the police department for all your help and so on. So that's all I have.
Do you want to say anything about ball games?
Oh, yes, yeah. As much as taking a deep breath, we got a state tournament this weekend that the city is basically hosting along with a local team. 13 to 15-year-old Kansas State Babe Ruth tournament. We did have no team dropout, so we're down to just 5. They're going to have the same amount of games, so the kids are just going to get more games. And so I'll be helping out. Justin's going to be gone on vacation, so I'm going to kind of help out where I can for that. So come on down and watch some great baseball. State champion will go on to Bismarck, North Dakota for the 8-state regional, and from there on to the World Series. So
Why are teams dropping?
I don't know that answer.
And the games actually start on Friday?
Right, they come in on Thursday, they'll check in at the Council Grove Recreation Department, aka Armory. Then they'll go to the Rotary Shelter House over here in Fairgrounds Park, where they'll be fed a picnic dinner by the local host team. And then we are, as a city, we are hosting a free swim at the Aquatic Center for the players and the players' families. And I will be doing a skills contest where the teams will be diving and finding colored poker chips. And they'll do it as a team activity. And the winner will get ice cream sandwiches. And then the next morning, the Hayes House, Nick arranged for the Hayes House to sponsor the officials' breakfast Friday morning, and then they'll start playing baseball.
The first game's at 10:30? The
Pardon me?
schedule change, I think it's the first game's at 10:30, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were gonna start at noon, but that's been changed. And in Babe Ruth, Kansas Babe Ruth baseball, every game is like a little World Series. The players their names are all announced before every game. They go out on the first base line, third base line, and the national anthem is sang at every game. Sportsman Code of Conduct is read before every game, and then they play ball. And so.
And there's a modest charge for the game.
Yes, $5 for adults and $3 for children. And
Do you still need volunteers?
we do.
That was
Very-
it's
Not
actually
very
going
many.
up pretty good.
Yeah, I signed up today.
I think
Signed
we
my
still
wife
need
and
a
myself up.
scorekeeper. Excuse me, I'm interrupting.
Go ahead.
I think we need one scorekeeper on Sunday morning, and
There's some gate on
there's a couple
Sunday
dates, yeah.
and some gate on Saturday too, I think. Well, it may have filled up since I was on
I
there.
think they're filled. I think that the salaries are filled. I've been keeping an eye on it.
It's online.
It is. It
The
is.
city
It's on under City of Council Grove Happenings, is it Happenings?
Now, if you go, it's on Happenings, you can also go to the city rec page, and I also think it's on the City Council Grove's Facebook page.
Yeah.
And there's a link there, Sharon, where you can go in and click the link and it'll let you sign up.
It says sign me in, like it did at Washunga.
And as I've told the council before, I think if the city were to put in for a tournament every year, I think we would get it. And, you know, they have ages from starting at 9 years of age, which is the Cal Ripken division of Babe Ruth, all the way up to 16 to 18-year-olds in the Babe Ruth. And then there is a girls Babe Ruth softball division too, that we could probably get one boy and one girl every year if we just really put in for it. Bring those people into our communities and so on. So just another activity that we could bring in. So again, very busy year.
Okay. Now you're finished.
Yes.
Okay.
I have nothing this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Sharon?
Well, just to reiterate what's been said, but first of all, just Nick, thank you for you and the city because you pulled us out down there when that rain didn't quit. It was began to be some real problems, but it was a great weekend. Lots of compliments about Council Grove, and that was always good to hear. And we'll see what we can do to keep this thing rolling. So.
I will say Buck Taylor was impressed with Council Grove.
Good. Thought he might come back.
He sure got enough pictures taken of him, so.
And thanks for the paper today. I think it was the biggest gunfight in, what was it, the history of, well, at least of Council Grove, but bigger than that, so.
I'm pretty sure there's never been that much gunfire up on Main Street ever.
Or horses. There are
60 or
lots.
70 gunfighters shooting all at one time. It was pretty impressive.
Well, kind of unique anyway. Thank you.
Sure. Nick?
Okay, did that. We were awarded $300,000 for KDOT C-CLIP for 56. I have to turn in the information if we want to accept that. I'm guessing the answer to that is yes. And then that project would take place in 2022. The letting date would be in January of 22.
Do you need a motion for that?
No, I don't. You guys already approved it. So
Okay.
I'm just telling you guys, unless you guys have some objection to not to doing it now.
Okay.
I do if it's that same company.
Well, the thing of it is, Mark, we'll get 3 or 4 bids on it, and we can, if we don't like a company that wins the bid, we can tell KDOT
Okay.
that. So, so that's what that
No, I
was.
do think we should move forward.
So and then we're receiving $321,769.41 from the American Rescue Plan Act. That money is a lot like the Spark money the county received. We'll have to keep track of it. I've talked to Rosemary Saunders with Ransom Financial, who handles a lot of stuff, and asked them to take care of it. It costs $1,500. There's 12 reports that have to be submitted, and there's 2 other things that have to be submitted, and they'll take care of all of it. But we're supposed to get the first payment here within the next 3 to 4 days. I'm waiting for some clarification on what it can be used for. Because when you go online, it says not for general infrastructure projects, but I don't know what that means. So I'm trying to get clarification on that, what they consider infrastructure. So we can decide. We have till, right now, the bill says till 2026 to use it. I'll put that down, December 31st, 2026, but the state is trying to get clarification from the federal government if that's gonna change or not. Even though the bill says that, they can shorten that up or lengthen it. So they're trying to get clarification like a set.
Is the decision on what to use it for?
It's up to the city. Yeah, the city's allowed, but you have to be within their parameters of what qualifies to use that money.
Is this
No,
through
I
HUD
mean, a
as well?
time frame.
No, it's not HUD.
Okay.
It's the federal government, that part of that money they set aside for.
Stimulus
Yep,
money.
yep.
I meant the time frame to decide what to use it for, as opposed to use it. Is there a difference?
No, you have till 2026, right now as the bill stands, to use the funds. So I think it's, depending on what you can use it for, I can think of some things we could use it for. So,
And so does that have to be an application in and then get approved?
no, it's all you have to do is apply. And it's already been allocated to the city. You have till the 19th to apply, I think, and Rosemary Saunders and them did that. And I got the confirmation email, and then I got an email saying that the money will be deposited within 4 days of that email. I got the email yesterday. Half of it. We get the first half now, and then we'll get the second half at a later date. We haven't set when that's going to be yet. So we'll get 160,000, and then we'll get the other half of that, 321,000. So.
Great. Got some good plans for it, huh?
When this infrastructure money gets passed through, it should be nice if we could see if there's some out for our storm drain system here in town.
That's one of the ones that I know qualifies for this funding. That's one of the ones, it says general infrastructure doesn't apply, but stormwater, water, infrastructure and stuff like that does. But I don't know if that's just strictly for that. I can't imagine it's just for that.
The entire Mission Street needs to be redone. That thing,
Yeah.
gets all that water off the hill and it just doesn't, it's just undersized.
Well, that's gonna
That
go
whole
from,
system.
I think 16-inch to 12 to 10 to 8, when it gets down to Main Street down there, and that's the reason you have that flooding right there by Burnett's and Council Grove Realty. So that's because it shrinks down. So it's
Right.
taking in a lot of water and then it chokes it off or whatever.
It's coming from up Main
Yeah.
Street too.
Yep. So, and that's all I got.
That's all you have, okay. I have just a couple of quick things. How's the railing at the amphitheater, have you heard anything?
They're still building it.
They're still
So we got all the specs and everything approved. Me and Jeff looked at them, and we both agreed on that. So now they're manufacturing it and then they'll come install it.
Okay.
So
And the lights, the step lights?
I'm trying to find a good deal on those still.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we had a good deal.
We do, well, so the 3800, those lights, you won't believe this, everything's back ordered. So I'm trying to find a place that's similar, it's the same kind of light, and I think I showed you some of the lights
Yeah.
when you came in and talked to me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a place that's similar to the ones that were recommended. But they're all the same. I mean, they're just LED lights.
We're just trying to
Solar.
find somebody that isn't back ordered. huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
so, and I haven't spent a lot of time doing that, to be honest, so, but I will take care of it.
Been busy.
Okay, I have just a couple more things. We talked a lot of different times about some place for campers to park when they come here. And, we've had different spots and stuff. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we need to appoint a committee to start working on that, because It's something we need. When
Yes, had one. Didn't you guys have one, Mark? Were you and Larry going?
Or was that a park?
Yeah,
Was that the
well,
Parks Committee?
Thought you and
Larry and I
Larry.
were supposed to, and then Larry's had some,
Yeah.
Well, and now I'm not part of that committee anymore either,
Well-
so.
Oh, that's true. Okay, you reappointed.
Yeah, we reappointed.
Who
I'll
is
have
it?
to look.
I don't
I
know.
think I'm on it.
Which one is it?
Streets and parks.
No, it's not.
It's not
This one was City Rec because it's gonna be in,
No, you're still on City Rec, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's Burner.
Mark, isn't
Mark
it?
Burner.
There you go.
okay.
Yeah, it's Mark Burner.
Because
Well-
originally it was Larry and I, we were
Right.
gonna discuss it because the camping that we looked at was gonna be down in Fairgrass Park, right?
And we looked at the concrete down there that day and kind of got sidetracked anyway,
Right.
when we were talking about how to lay out for the concrete and the
Right.
bleachers.
And you've had some things in your life too,
Mhm.
so.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's been
But,
busy,
yeah, since then,
busy time, but,
Yeah.
the reason I bring that up is we got lost on our way to Arkansas, my husband and I, last week, and so we drove through Garnett, and they have just a real simple one at the edge of town, and it was packed, and they said it was packed all the time. You know, just very simple, nothing hardly there. So I took a couple of pictures, but I do think that it's.
Yeah, I've been pushing for this for
Yeah,
years.
it's
What do you
Yeah.
mean, simple and nothing? Is it
I'll show you the
hookups?
pictures.
Okay.
It was a couple of, they've got some hookups, they've got a little bit of grass, they've got a little bit of concrete where, so it's not muddy, and I thought, yeah, we could do this. There's not a lot to it.
Yeah, we stayed in a campground in Winterset, Iowa, in the city park. They have 40 campsites in this park. It's $22 a night, included water, sewer, and electricity. And it's a there's a stand there when you pull in, pull out, and I brought the envelopes in to show the council. I still have them, to where we could do the same thing.
Well, it's something that we're definitely missing in our community, that,
We've got a lot of requests this weekend
yeah,
for it.
yeah, and it's, something that you would think that maybe somebody private would do it, but we haven't had anybody do it yet, so. And we do have ground, so it's something,
So
Yeah.
you want Mark and I to
if you would,
pursue that?
yeah, if you would.
Okay.
Would you mind talking to Mark and?
Right, and would you mind, could we bring a third councilman into that?
Sure. Who wants to do that? Anybody?
Keith, would you
Yeah.
be interested in doing
Sure,
that?
I'll do it with you.
Okay.
I just don't know much about campers at all.
I don't want the comfortable bed.
Keith
Keith
does.
is at a camper, so.
Yeah. Well, and you have your storage units and stuff, you familiar?
I've had
Yeah,
several of them over the years.
okay. Thank you. I
Maybe we
just
can get
think
together
that's,
next week.
yeah. You
Next
know,
week I'm about to marry.
Okay, well, you let me know when you're
Okay.
available, okay? And then we'll see.
Okay.
Because the reason I wanted another one, 'cause Mark travels quite a
Right,
bit.
he's going out in the
And
daytime.
so,
Yeah. Okay.
I
I'll
just
give you a
think-
holler, Mark.
okay, thank you.
hopefully maybe something we can have ready for.
No, I'm ready to go
Next-
for it.
next
I'm ready to
spring.
go. Yeah.
Okay, then the other thing I have is, it's been brought up to me several times, how people from the community do not feel that they can go out to the city lake and use it, how uncomfortable they are going out there. And we have a couple of spots that maybe could be worked up a little bit. So I would also like to ask the lake committee to take.
Mayor, we have a spot. We have a spot we're gonna work on, it's just we didn't have time this spring to get down there and work on, we're gonna do that this fall.
Okay,
We have
I
an
just
area-
think that that's really
Right,
important
there's
because.
an area, next to the dam over there that has 2 pavilions on it.
Okay.
And Mark and Keith are out there, and we know Jeff knows what needs to be done.
Okay.
But we'll go in there and clear it out and things like that, it'll have to be cleared out, it's got trees and stuff.
I didn't know you were working on that, but I.
Yeah, well, that's
I hear
been,
that.
that's been a year ago that we
Yeah,
talked about, it was last
I've
winter.
been close to that.
Yeah, so, but with the amphitheater and stuff like that, we just haven't had,
And Mayor, could I ask if this committee could also take on camping out there too?
Sure.
Because I think there's, across from the docks, and that
Karen's
land we
cabin, yeah.
have back in there,
yeah.
I think we could make that into a campground. And then now they've cleaned that area below the dam, I think that could turn into an excellent camping area too.
It'd be nice to have some sketches and kind of,
Yes.
or we could even take a
We
field trip.
discussed that at one time,
Yes.
remember, and we were checking into the type of sewer system or containment system for the sewage, whether it be lagoon or containment, and it was decided that it'd be containment because it would not be used enough for a lagoon.
Right.
Would dry out, would crack the liner in the bottom of it,
Well, I think what we could do, Councilman, is
And there's
not,
tanks out there.
not have sewer hookups, but we already have a septic tank there for that fish cleaning station that was
Right.
put in there at one time.
Right, right.
So I think we could convert that into a dump station.
Mhm.
To where the
That's
campers in that area could, once they left, could come over to the dump
And
station.
that's the way the reservoir's set up.
Yeah, that's what we had talked about at the last
Yeah.
go round on that, Councilman.
Well, there's even people that just feel like they're not comfortable out there, even just to go out and fish. And, you know, since we're trying to repair those relationships and move toward annexation possibly and get this all done, I think it's important that we, you know, let people in the city know, you know, they can go out there. They're
Great.
welcome out there as well.
That conversation's been going on
For
for
a long time.
50 years.
Yeah. And we can do that by just a little bit of work with beautiful cabins. It's probably gonna be more than a little bit of work, but, you know.
Yeah.
Even the shelter houses are not nice.
Well, we have a plan to fix all those too. We have all the paint bought and all the materials are sitting in the shop up on the hill, big shop, and we just gotta have time to do it.
What about community service?
We don't have anybody.
And I'm talking the city, I'm talking the county.
I can talk to
The city is in
Anita.
the county, so.
Yeah, I know. I'll talk to
Yeah.
Anita about it and see if she has anybody.
Yeah.
And see if she needs projects or whatever.
Right.
So I can do that, or I can have Sean do that.
Okay, I just want to bring those couple of things up, so thank you. I reiterate what everybody else has said. I just really appreciate what the committee did for the Santa Fe 200. It's great, all the activities. I looked at the agenda and thought, wow, goes on, lots of stuff here, a lot of stuff. You guys did a good job. It's great. And a lot of people in town, and it was fun. It was a unique festival, or whatever you want to call it, experience, I guess I should say.
I had a lot of people tell me that they loved it because it was what Washunga Days used to be.
So, I wasn't here then, but I'm glad to hear that. So, anyway, but we really appreciate all the work put into it. Okay, and if anybody doesn't have anything else, if anyone has anything else, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Jason. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Larry. It's been moved to second to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0.